So moths fall in love at the first scent. Uh, in fact, to answer that question, it's important to understand their breeding biology. So moths, a lot of female moths, in fact, in some species of moths, they don't even have wings, right? So they are wingless. When they hatch and when they hatch, and then they are in the form of a caterpillar, they will gnaw at plant matter and then form a cocoon. And once then the metamorphosis happens inside the cocoon and the adult emerges. So either it is a male or a female. Males will have wings. All species, they will fly. Females, and males emerge faster than females from the cocoon. And then when the female emerges, she obviously is not ready to fly immediately. So she will move out of the cocoon, cling on to whatever substrate she gets, and then slowly starts pumping fluid, body fluid, into the wings. The wings will then spread, and then it will be fully stretched. At that point, it is moist, damp. Slowly, it dries out, and only after it's completely dry does the female take off. While she is doing all that, she is also excreting pheromones. And remember that lot of female moths don't have a feeding mouthpart. There are species that have it, and there are large species that don't have it, like the Atlas moth, the tussar silk moth. So she has whatever energy she has, she wants to conserve that energy and use it for the developing embryos. So there are eggs in her body, and then the pheromone that she secretes is going out in the air in the night. Males have very complex antennae. Females have a tubular antennae, like a single stalk, whereas a male has a feathery antennae. Now, the reason why the male antenna is so feathery is because it needs to pick the minutest particle of that pheromone that the female of that species is secreting. Because in the night there is no light, so the moths are guided by pheromones, and the antenna of the male will pick a single pheromone from a female from miles away, and he will slowly zero in down to that female. It may not be just one male at that point. Many males will converge to that female, and one of them will mate with the female. In the process, along with the sperm, the male will also transfer nutrients, because remember, the female is not has no chewing or feeding mouth part. So she gets nutrients from the male, and more often than not, this is not for all moths, but several big species, it has been observed that the males, after mating, they lose so much energy and nutrient that they die in a day or two. The female will then fly and go to a plant, which is its food plant, that is food plant of the caterpillars, and they don't lay eggs on any random plant. So all species prefer a family of a family of plants, or a particular species, in some cases just one type of species on which they lay eggs. So she will then use her sensory prowess to detect the smells of that plant, and she lands on that, confirms that it is that species, and then slowly lays eggs either under leaves or on the bark, depending on the species. And once she's done, she's also so exhausted that she more often than not dies, and the eggs will then take a few days to hatch. The caterpillars will start feeding on that particular plant. They will add a lot of weight. So a caterpillar can add nearly 1,000 times its body weight in a week or 2 weeks. When they are born, they are extremely small, and then some of them can be as big as a cigar in just 14 days. And once they reach a particular size, they'll find a quiet, a safe place that could be on that plant, or they will go down into the soil, dig inside the soil, and there they will pupate. In that, sometimes they can, the metamorphosis starts, and if the conditions are right, moisture, temperature, then they will emerge in about 15 days, 20 days, depending on the species. Or if the condition is not right, they can stay dormant in this pupa for an entire season till the right conditions appear. And as soon as the moisture levels and other conditions are right, they will emerge. So it's quite fascinating, their life cycle. So yes, in a way, scent is an extremely important tool for moths to find each other in pitch darkness, because they are nocturnal animals. They are not diurnal. Most of the moths are active by the night. So basically, butterflies and moths, they are related, but they are partitioned their feeding time. They say butterflies stay and utilize the resources in the day. When they go to sleep, moths emerge. And so they are very important pollinators. They're also very, very important food source for so many species. So butterflies are eaten by insects, fungus do attack them, reptiles, birds, mammals, they feed on caterpillars, they feed on adult insects. Similarly, in the night, bats, nocturnal birds, and insects that come out in the night feed on moths. So they are a very important part of our ecosystem. So both as pollinators and as food.